What it do, what it do, what it do. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. That's the notification bell that alerts you. All content that will drop to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the AKA, the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate that. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Need everybody to go double back, spin the block, go to my second YouTube channel. S.L.R Sports News TV. We on the way to 900 subscribers on my second YouTube channel. We on our way on this YouTube channel, S.L.R Media TV. We on the way to 4,000 subscribers. Appreciate all my new subscribers. Appreciate all my current subscribers and future subscribers. Continue to support and contribute to this platform, to this channel, and make this one of the top YouTube channels on YouTube. Also, you like what I do, make sure you hit that cash out. $ SRED 40. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. See the title, we in the building. We here. In Shedeur Sanders, we trust. Tennessee Titans, perfect timing. Will Shedeur Sanders get his second win? And on top of that, can he beat his arch nemesis who beat him out for the top quarterback position in this year's draft? You know what he is, Cam Ward. I'm looking for Shedeur to bounce back, have a much better game. As I say, once again, it's all about reps. It's all about timing, reps, and Shedeur is now getting that. And I'm looking to see a much better production than I seen in the first game and the second game. I'm also looking for a better game plan out of Kevin Stefanski, and I'm looking for a much more aggressive game plan out of Kevin Stefanski because this is a game that they can win, and you kind of look at as a must-win game for Kevin Stefanski. So, for him to keep his job, he needs to win, and he needs to win under Shedeur. So, as I say again, I don't see Dylan Gabriel getting back in. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. We most definitely don't want to lose the fan base. I'm pretty sure the general manager is behind Shedeur and getting the rest of the reps and getting the rest of the games. I say it again. Cleveland, you got your quarterback. Don't fuck it up, Cleveland. Don't fuck it up. Got your quarterback. Now you got your quarterback. Just imagine you got your quarterback. You don't have to spend a lot of money on him. Now you can fill your roster out and build around Shedeur. Yeah, yeah. That's what you need to do. Get him more weapons. Yeah, yeah. Bryce Rose. Yeah, Bryce Rose Young. Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. Yeah, so as I say, it's perfect timing for Shedeur. I believe he is the future for Cleveland, and I believe the more reps he get, the more games that he get, more comfortable he get. You're going to see that Shedeur, that what we seen in Colorado, and what we fell in love with Shedeur about being that that technician on the field. So, Jerry Judy, you better align yourself. Get your shit together. Get your shit together and align yourself with Shedeur. Because if you don't, you will be out. Shedeur will be throwing the ball to somebody else for sure. Most definitely. What's going? He said, "What's going on, bro? We here? Yeah, we here. We about to get into. I got great content. Let's break this Shedeur down, and you know what we do? We break it down, we repackage it up, and we send it out. My WWE character for Shedeur is going to be. We're gonna get Shedeur Montez. We're gonna give him that Montez forward. We 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 see it. We see it. We just need to see the opportunity. We need to see you do it. We see you had that potential. We see you had the potential to be world champion, but we need to see you do it. And now you're finally getting that opportunity to see you do it. So my character for Shedeur Sanders is the WWE wrestler Montez Ford. So let's get into it and let's break this down. You know what we do. We roll the footage. Before I get into it, you know I got an intro. Let's get into the Shedeur Sanders intro. Roll the footage.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
Yeah, this was in college. Tried to end his career in college early. Once again.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
Wow.
Here we go. Jerry Jeudy, step right up. This man was caught yelling at Shedeur on the sideline because he couldn't haul in a pass that Jamar Chase, C.D. Lamb, Emeka Egbuka, hell, even your cousin's cousin would have snagged with one hand and kept running. The whole team played like trash yesterday, but you want to bark at the quarterback? You, the same bum who played hopscotch with a 60-yard dot last week. Mr. Fumble, trying to be loud when he should be humble. Through 11 games with Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, you stacked a measly 400 yards and enough almosts to fill a scrapbook, and you never said a thing to them. But now, you want to flex on Shedeur for throwing a pass elite receivers catch in their sleep. With technique. Maybe you'd catch something if you didn't look like you're running in Crocs, tripping through roots like you're avoiding chalk. Now you're just another op on the block. There's a reason you lead the league in drops. There's a reason Denver let you walk. There's a reason you're never in your bag. Because you're really a jag. Just a guy. And trying to show up your QB doesn't make you fly. It just shows the whole world why.
The glaring things that I see wrong with Shedeur is his feet in the pocket are absolutely a train wreck. The reason why Jerry Jeudy got mad is not because he overthrew him. He missed him in the first window. He should have thrown it sooner, been ready to throw it. Jerry would have caught it, run out the back door for a touchdown. Now, Jerry shouldn't have done that. I got that. But anyway, that's why he was angry. His anticipation's not there. When he's asked to make a play with the concept, other than the touchdown pass, which was a great throw, great play, he struggles with where his eyes are, where his feet are. He had a dagger wide open. He threw the check down, overthrew it. He had Jerry Jeudy on a sail cut, went right to the check down. So all the reasons you guys hated Dylan Gabriel because he went to the check down, we're seeing the same thing. So I don't know if they're taught like this. I know they had some offensive line issues. Maybe he felt pressure. So of his completions, 9 or 10 of them were within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage.
I mean, he had too many ops to throw down.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is with ops that he did have, the one completion he got his arm hit, he made a terrible read on that. The first read of the tight end going across the face of the safety. That's number one. If safety says no, you go right now, bang. He waited, tried to hit the seam ball, stared him down. If his arm didn't get hit, that was a pick by the safety. I'm not discouraged by him. Obviously, the situational play was awful. He wasn't in a lot of great 1st and 10, 2nd and 3 opportunities. They're trying to force the running game, which I understand with the young quarterback, but they got a lot of work to do with this kid. I'm not giving him a C. It's incomplete. Let's let him keep playing and see what happens.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
If you have nothing good to say, don't say something to somebody. So, he had a lot to say that was demeaning and disparaging towards some of our players. Knowing that he has so much left, for the year and giving more to this team. So, we're behind him 100%. We're going to support him however we can.
Okay, so Jerry Jeudy is catching major backlash for his blow-up on the sideline with Shedeur Sanders. And I agree, he was out of pocket for yelling.
Jerry Jeudy is under fire after a heated sideline incident where he was caught yelling at Shedeur Sanders, pointing fingers at the young quarterback for mistakes that weren't his fault. Now, Myles Garrett has stepped into the conversation, and he's not holding back. Garrett publicly questioned Jeudy's actions, making it crystal clear he doesn't understand why the receiver would go after Shedeur like that. Garrett emphasized that the entire team is rallying around Sanders, and they're standing firmly behind their quarterback during this turbulent moment. One thing's for certain, Jerry Jeudy won't escape the fallout from what went down on that sideline.
More power to him, but I'm just trying to keep my guys focused on the game and not worried about stuff outside of it, because we're focused on what's on the field.
Myles Garrett didn't stop there. He took his message straight to the locker room, making it clear the team has decided to tune out the noise and outside opinions surrounding this incident. Garrett and his teammates are united. They don't support Jeudy's behavior towards Shedeur Sanders. That vote of confidence was exactly what the young quarterback needed. With his teammates backing him up, Shedeur felt reassured that he wasn't alone in dealing with the pressure and controversy. But make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders is frustrated, and he has every right to be. Despite leaving everything on the field, his team couldn't capitalize on opportunities, and the result was a brutal clear. The offense has to take responsibility for this loss. It was unacceptable, and he's not letting it slide. This can't become a pattern. Shedeur is holding everyone accountable, demanding better from his teammates moving forward.
I think overall, I just gotta have more of a role like that and be better at that.
How about your touchdown pass to Harold Fannin? Just kind of take us through that play a little bit.
Yeah.
Shedeur didn't sugarcoat it. He felt the team lacked confidence, and the plays they attempted just weren't executed with enough conviction. The offense looked shaky, and even though everyone knew what needed to be done, they couldn't deliver when the game was on the line. Sanders stressed the importance of staying together through adversity, but that unity simply wasn't there in this matchup. As a result, the team fell short. His words reflected deep frustration with teammates who didn't step up when he needed him most.
Confident, whenever we are getting slow. It's about rallying the guys, and I didn't do a great job of that today. Rallying everybody together whenever things aren't going our way, and staying that.
Shedeur Sanders was brilliant at quarterback in this game, delivering some jaw-dropping throws, but his team didn't hold their end of the bargain. At times, questionable coaching decisions seemed to contribute to the struggle. One glaring example came in the red zone when Stefanski made a puzzling call. He pulled Shedeur out and handed the ball to Judkins, who was getting physically dominated by the 49ers defense. It was obvious Judkins couldn't match their intensity and strength, yet Stefanski kept going back to him instead of letting Shedeur stay on the field and lead the offense, a decision that ultimately backfired. Shedeur played at an elite level, making several spectacular throws under pressure, but his supporting cast let him down. And yes, coaching choices played a role in the team's struggles. That red zone sequence was a prime example. Stefanski's decision to take the ball out of Shedeur's hands and give it to a struggling Judkins proved costly. Judkins simply couldn't handle the physicality of San Francisco's front seven. Instead of riding with his hot quarterback, Stefanski made a call that didn't pan out. Shedeur's frustration with Jeudy, completely justified. He was playing lights-out football, but players like Jeudy made his job harder than it needed to be. Even when Shedeur was executing at a high level, Jeudy couldn't match his energy. Take the Browns' very first play as an example. Shedeur read the defense perfectly, saw the pocket of space opening up in front of Jeudy, and delivered a perfectly timed pass right into that window. But instead of attacking the open area, Jeudy inexplicably slowed down, turning what should have been an easy completion into an incomplete pass that hit the turf. While Jeudy's sideline outbursts grabbed headlines, the real story is his ongoing struggles throughout the season. This isn't a one-game issue for the Browns. In the previous matchup, Shedeur displayed the same poise and precision, only to be let down once again by Jeudy's failure to secure a touchdown. Rolling to his right, Shedeur drew defenders toward him and spotted Jeudy wide open downfield. He uncorked a beautiful deep ball, putting Jeudy in perfect position to score. But a momentary lapse in concentration caused Jeudy to bobble the ball, squandering a golden opportunity. The throw was flawless, showcasing Shedeur's ability to deliver under duress, but Jeudy couldn't finish the play. Even with relentless pressure from the 49ers defense, Shedeur continued dropping dimes with pinpoint accuracy. There was one play where he stood completely exposed, no offensive lineman anywhere near him, completely vulnerable in the pocket. Yet somehow, in that chaotic situation, Shedeur still delivered a perfect throw, demonstrating remarkable composure and skill against one of the league's most fearsome defenses. Let's take a closer look at one of those highlight reel moments. Despite Jeudy's attempt to make a spectacle on the sideline, things didn't go the way he planned. He couldn't outshine Shedeur. Recognizing Sanders' talent and mental toughness, Stefanski made his position clear. He's all in on Shedeur moving forward. He publicly announced that Sanders would start the next game, acknowledging what the quarterback brought to the table. Even in a losing effort, Sanders' ability to perform under fire was undeniable, and Stefanski made sure he got the credit he deserved. His performance was the brightest spot in any otherwise disappointing game, and Stefanski confirmed that Shedeur would remain the starter going forward.
Kevin, did you think that Shedeur built on his first start last week against the Raiders?
Yeah, I'd have to look at it, Mary Kay. Obviously, he's battling like all of our guys are battling. I know there's plays he wants back, but we'll look at it. We'll correct it.
Will you start him next week?
Yes.
In conclusion, the events surrounding Shedeur Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, and the Browns' Week 13 loss to the 49ers tell a story of frustration, accountability, and resilience in the face of adversity. Shedeur's performance at quarterback was nothing short of impressive. He delivered difficult throws with exceptional accuracy, even while absorbing punishment from one of the NFL's most dominant defenses. Despite his obvious talent and composure under pressure, Shedeur's efforts were repeatedly undermined by his teammates, particularly Jeudy, whose drops and sideline theatrics became a focal point of the game's aftermath. Jeudy's actions, especially the sideline confrontation where he yelled at Shedeur, sparked controversy and drew criticism from Myles Garrett and others who voiced their support for Sanders. It became clear that the team's internal dynamics were under strain, and Shedeur's frustration with Jeudy was completely warranted. There were also moments when the coaching staff, led by Stefanski, made decisions that appeared to contribute to the team's struggles, like pulling Shedeur in the red zone in favor of Judkins, who was getting pushed around all game. These decisions, combined with missed opportunities by key players, only magnified the challenges the Browns faced. Yet through all the setbacks, Shedeur's resilience shone through. His ability to perform at a high level, even in the face of chaos and adversity, didn't go unnoticed. Stefanski, recognizing Shedeur's potential and leadership, publicly affirmed that Sanders would remain the starting quarterback moving forward. This decision, made after a tough loss, reflected confidence in Shedeur's abilities and leadership, the true bright spots of the game. Ultimately, the Browns' loss served as a stark reminder that in the NFL, individual brilliance can only take you so far. Football is the ultimate team game. For Shedeur Sanders, his ability to lead under difficult circumstances has laid a strong foundation for his future as the team's signal caller.
We know who the better quarterback is in the Cleveland Browns facility, in the building. We know who sell tickets. We know when you look in the crowd in Cleveland Browns Stadium, you see the number 12 jersey. And if Shedeur gets his way, don't be surprised if that number 2 comes back. I'm sorry, 12 is nice. So if you got that 12 jersey, just keep it. But don't be surprised if Shedeur goes to that number 2. And if he goes to that number 2, I'm looking at a Pro Bowl next year for Shedeur, possibly in MVP conversations. Wow. Possibly with the Cleveland Browns making the playoffs. Yeah. See, Stefanski knows if he kept going with Dylan, he was going to get fired. Stefanski knows who's the better quarterback is. It's Shedeur. And as I say again, if Shedeur gets his way and be named the starter going in 2026, don't be surprised if that number 2 jersey be in the building with the Sanders name on the back. So keep that number 12 jersey. Just keep it. Just keep it. Just in case. But you heard it here first. S.L.R is telling you, if that number 2 comes open, it's perfect timing. He's going back. Yeah. For sure.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
Shedeur Sanders should be Browns starter for rest of season. The moment Shedeur Sanders jogged off the field after Cleveland's 26-8 loss to the San Francisco 49ers, the cold wind cutting across Huntington Bank Field, it was clear the Browns had reached a crossroads, not just in their season but in their future. And the question echoing across the stadium wasn't whether the team was mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. That part felt inevitable weeks ago, but whether the rookie quarterback who has already shown glimpses of poise, resilience, and presence beyond his years should now be entrusted with the keys for the rest of a season that no longer offers anything but evaluation, development, and truth. 2 Browns fans waited in the lounge near the locker room, shouting, "We want Mendoza," at GM Andrew Berry, a symbolic cry for a draft savior months before the 2026 NFL draft conversation even begins. And yet, as the Browns drifted to 3-9, that future suddenly felt far less urgent than the one standing right in front of them. A quarterback who didn't shrink under pressure, who didn't panic in chaos, who didn't crumble under the weight of mistakes from others, and who, even in a loss, left the organization wanting to see more. The Browns aren't in the hunt, haven't been for weeks, and the TV graphics removing them from the postseason picture felt more like a mercy than a slight. But the real clarity came not from standings or scores, but from the way the locker room spoke, the way teammates gravitated towards Sanders, and the way offensive players seemed to breathe differently with him in the huddle compared to rookie third-rounder Dillon Gabriel, who, despite his talent and toughness, hasn't been able to generate the same energy, the same belief, the same quiet confidence Sanders inspires when he steps behind center. Even against a 49ers team that suffocated Cleveland after halftime, Sanders played with a calm that belied his inexperience, managing the game cleanly, refusing to force throws, and executing with subtle growth from snap to snap despite the storm swirling around him. The muffed punt by Gage Larvadain that flipped field position. The 66-yard punt return allowed by special teams that set up the first touchdown. The disastrous 4th and 1 fumble by Harold Fannin Jr. when the offense desperately needed composure. None of those were Sanders' faults, yet they defined the scoreboard far more than anything the rookie quarterback did. He went 16 of 25 for 149 yards and a touchdown, took 3 sacks, rushed once, injured his ankle briefly but returned without panic, and completed his second NFL start with a 93.6 passer rating while showing, once again, that the moment isn't too big for him and that Cleveland, for the first time this season, may actually have something worth cultivating. And yet, what everyone will remember from this game wasn't his touchdown throw or his pocket movement or the flashes of timing that hinted at future potential. It was the sideline confrontation with Jerry Jeudy, the fiery, animated exchange captured by CBS as the veteran wideout clapped his hands, repeated, "That's wrong, that's wrong," and pointed at the tablet as Sanders listened and tried to explain what he saw. Judy's frustration wasn't theatrical. It was rooted in a deep competitiveness. The same competitiveness that helped him produce a 1,229-yard season last year, but has left him stuck at 421 yards through 12 games this year. And Sanders didn't respond with ego, didn't fire back, didn't bristle. He absorbed, nodded, processed. Center Ethan Posick eventually stepped in, placing himself between them, but the tension wasn't personal. It was the collision of a veteran hungry to win and a rookie still learning to see the field through NFL eyes. And Sanders explained that after the game with the maturity of someone twice his age. It takes time, he said. We have to gel, we have to be comfortable with each other. I'm more of a trust person. Passing-wise, we're not always seeing things through the same lens. His words weren't excuses. They were truths, the kind of truths that define quarterback development at the highest level. Sanders missed Jeudy early on a deep ball that could have been a 66-yard touchdown. Overthrew him by a few yards, refused to blame the wind, and simply acknowledged it as a missed shot. And the honesty resonated, because Sanders doesn't hide from mistakes. He owns them, learns from them, grows from them, which is exactly why the Browns must treat these final games not as meaningless exhibitions, but as the opening chapters of a potential transformation at the most important position in sports. For a franchise that has cycled through quarterbacks with dizzying speed, that spent 3 first-rounders and $230 million on Deshaun Watson only to end up here again, that entered the season with 4 quarterbacks battling in training camp, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett now gone, Gabriel sidelined and struggling, and Sanders rising, the chance to evaluate a rookie with genuine upside is an opportunity they cannot waste. The comparisons to Brock Purdy don't feel fair yet. Purdy is operating at an MVP level in San Francisco with elite protection and playmakers everywhere. But the blueprint matters. Purdy was drafted 262nd overall. Sanders went 144th. Both arrived in difficult situations with doubters circling. Both rely on processing, accuracy, and calm more than raw arm strength. And both, in their own ways, were overlooked until circumstances forced their teams to trust them. Purdy didn't light up the box score against Cleveland, but his command, the pacing, the confidence, the subtle manipulations of coverage, reminded the Browns of exactly what they have lacked: stability. If Sanders develops, truly develops, he could be that for them. He doesn't need to be extraordinary overnight. He needs to be consistent, reliable, poised. And the Browns are now positioned to give him the runway to become that, using this final month not as a countdown to a draft class filled with quarterback prospects, but as a proving ground to determine whether Sanders should be their bridge in 2026, or something more. Because no matter how loudly fans shout, "We want Mendoza," no rookie draft pick can replace the value of live NFL reps, of standing in the pocket while Nick Bosa bears down on you, of missing throws and correcting them, of arguing with a veteran receiver and learning from it, of earning a locker room's trust not with hype but with execution. And right now, Sanders is doing that. Teammates feel it. Quinton Judkins said it plainly. The whole team, we all believe in Shedeur. The Browns have 2 first-round picks next spring, and they may very well select a quarterback. But they also may discover over these next 5 games that the steal of their future is already in the building, already on the field, already growing into the role he wasn't supposed to claim this soon. The rest of the season isn't about standings or spoilers or draft order. It's about truth. It's about clarity. It's about whether the son of Deion Sanders, drafted in the 5th round, thrust into the fire, carrying himself with a veteran's poise, can become the Browns' answer. And the only way to learn is to let him play. For 5 more games. For every snap he's healthy. Because something is stirring in Cleveland when he steps on the field. Something subtle. Something promising. Something worth exploring before the franchise decides its next move. And that is why Shedeur Sanders should be the Browns starter for the rest of the season. Not because the record demands it, but because the future might. And the truth is, Cleveland has spent so many years searching for answers at quarterback, stumbling through false starts and fleeting experiments, that the mere presence of someone who brings calm instead of chaos, clarity instead of confusion, feels like a shift worth nurturing, even if it is still in its infancy. Sanders doesn't just play the position, he studies it, he internalizes it, he respects it in a way that resonates with veterans who can tell instantly whether a young quarterback is real or simply pretending to be. He takes the coaching, he takes the criticism, he stays after practice, he asks questions that rookies usually avoid because they reveal vulnerability, not bravado. And in a league where quarterbacks often fail not because they lack arm talent, but because they lack emotional stamina, Sanders carries himself like someone who has already lived the scrutiny long before his NFL debut. That's why his teammates lean into him instead of away. That's why coaches trust him in huddle-breaking moments. That's why, even in losses, even in growing pains, the sense around the building is not despair but curiosity. A belief that something is taking shape beneath the surface, something that cannot be seen on stat sheets yet but can absolutely be felt. And with 5 games left in a season already surrendered to the future, the Browns owe it to themselves to see just how far that feeling can carry them.
Shedeur. It's perfect time, mama. And then I'm living. Shedeur.
I think as Browns fans, we need to understand that there is more upside to Shedeur Sanders being the guy for the Browns than any other quarterback we've ever tried to do this with. And here's why, okay? First of all, Shedeur Sanders was touted as a first-round talent. I'm going to keep saying that until I'm blue in the face, okay? Every draft analyst, minus maybe 1 or 2, had him as a first-round talent. The vast majority of analysts had him as the QB2 behind Cam Ward. And there were, 4 quarterbacks taken between Ward and him. He was clearly more talented based on a tape evaluation than all those other guys. And all the evaluations that I came away with doing the film work and the other guys on the show that had us wanting to take Shedeur Sanders at 2 overall, that didn't change just because he went in the 5th round. What we saw on tape still existed. Like, that didn't just magically go away or change. It all still existed. He is on a rookie contract, and you see what NFL teams are able to do when they've got their quarterback on a rookie deal. You can invest heavily in other positions to make a good football team around that quarterback. And not only is Shedeur Sanders on a rookie contract, he is on a 5th round rookie contract. That is so much lower than a 1st round rookie contract. It's ridiculous. So what if Shedeur Sanders can prove to be the guy for the Browns, that offsets every bad outcome from the Deshaun Watson mistake. All of it. You didn't have to invest a 1st round or multiple 1st round picks to go get your quarterback. You used a 5th. You don't have to worry about eating up $46 million of cap space every year to a quarterback that's not playing. You're on a 5th round contract. It's low. Think what the 49ers were able to do for years when they had Brock Purdy on a 7th round contract. That's essentially the same thing as far as the cap is concerned with Shedeur Sanders on a 5th round contract. And the other major benefit to Shedeur Sanders being the guy for the Browns, and this is why as Browns fans, we should be hoping for this kid to be the answer, not rooting against him, hoping that he can be the guy, because when contract time comes around, it could get interesting because Shedeur Sanders is already super rich. Super rich. He's got all the money in the world. He doesn't need money. He is playing football because he loves the game. That is key. That is big because we've seen guys in the NFL not necessarily playing football because they love it first and foremost. Now, everybody playing football at the NFL level obviously has a certain level of love for the game. I get that. But for that to be your driving factor, that's not every guy. Shedeur Sanders is doing this because he loves the game and because he wants to be great. To me, that is something I can get behind. If what you're doing for this job is something you would do for free, then you're living life. And you're really going to invest heavily into what you're doing because you love it. And that's what I'm excited about with Shedeur Sanders.
Stop pocket watching, my boy. How you gonna? First of all, you over here pocket watching. Oh, he's super rich. He's super rich. He doesn't How the fuck do you do it? What you think? You think I'm just gonna play football? NFL, the most gruesome, the most barbaric, the most dangerous. You damn near suicidal to play the NFL. You're one injury away from not being able to walk, not being able to even know your name, anything. You could be confined to a wheelchair. And you're gonna say he's super rich. He doesn't need no money. He's super rich. You can't never have enough money. Nobody is playing professional football for free. News check. Spoiler alert. Just because Shedeur is super rich doesn't mean he's going to give the Cleveland Browns a discount. I'm getting all my bread. I want to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. For that to happen, just because I'm super rich, that doesn't mean that I want to be the fifth highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Like, come on now, make it make sense. As I say, it's perfect time, mama, that I'm living. Shedeur. Need to stop. Ooh. Yeah, he's over there hollering about. Yeah, he's super rich. You pocket watching motherfucker. Yeah, damn. Put that motherfucker in Google search. Google search. Shedeur Sanders Network. Oh my God, he's worth he's worth uh 20, 30, 40 million. He's super rich. Shut your goddamn ass up. You don't know what the hell Shedeur got. He's super rich. Pocket watching motherfucker. Just go and Google, put it Shedeur down. Oh my gosh, he's super rich. Motherfucker, do you understand? That's the estimate of value. It's not even counting liquidated cash. Like, get the hell out of here. He's like, oh my God, he's sitting on 20, 30 million, 40 million. He's super. Man, that's what he's worth. His empire. Stop. This shit is legendary. He's super rich. Shut your goddamn ass up. Oh my God, he's super rich. That's ridiculous.
No matter how much media propaganda is injected into me,
Oh yeah, he's super rich.
Everybody could analyze. Everybody could say everything from sideline. You could watch TV, everything. You could talk on TV, whatever you want to do. But until you get out there and you do it, then it's different. Going out there, with only practice with the $100 and everything, like that's different. It's a lot of vet quarterbacks, that had their time and everything that were backups and was able to get thrown in the game and be all right. But I don't think that was like that in their rookie year. That's a difference, Like that's different, and I'm thankful for that experience because that helped me get to where I am today. That helped me go into the game very comfortable, knowing that they got a great defense with the Ravens, knowing the different looks, how they could be confusing to the naked eye. But that's why during the game I was smiling so much because I'm like, oh yeah, if this what it is, I know I'm gonna be able to accept that challenge and move forward one day and be able to have success. So that's the mentality I went with going and prepping for this week.
Yeah, he's super rich. This motherfucker, goddamn. Google search his goddamn network. Holler about, yeah, he's super rich. Shut your goddamn ass up.
Myles Garrett just went off about Shedeur Sanders. The most feared pass rusher in the NFL couldn't believe what he witnessed. This is the validation Sanders needed. Let's dive in.
I mean, he put it up, and I'm just like, oh God, who was I even going to? I wasn't even looking down there to see IB, and then, I'm just looking. I'm like, oh God, please. And he drops it in the bucket, and he reaches it out. I'm like, please, just don't fumble into the end zone.
Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man caught at the 10-yard line. Bonds. He's
I'm like, wow, there's not many guys in the league that can make that throw. So that was a hell of a throw. I hope he can continue to, grow and develop, for making plays like that, and take it from there.
Shedeur Sanders just left Myles Garrett absolutely shook. The most dominant pass rusher in the NFL stopped everything to talk about one throw. This wasn't just respect. This was shock. This was a game changer. Let's break down why Garrett couldn't stop talking about Sanders. Las Vegas, bright lights, high stakes, and a young quarterback making throws that veterans dream about. Shedeur Sanders delivered a performance that had even the opposition's best player stopping to say, wait, did that just happen? Garrett didn't just mention Sanders in passing. He went out of his way to highlight a specific moment that embodied everything elite quarterbacks are made of. In a league where defensive stars rarely give offensive players their flowers, this is massive. This is validation from someone who sees quarterbacks at their worst, who studies their tendencies, who knows exactly what separates the good from the legendary.
I think everyone was surprised to see him go to the 5th round. He's come to camp and OTAs with a great attitude. He's a hardworking guy. He has a good head on his shoulders. He's always positive, always.
Here's what makes this moment extraordinary. Garrett and his defensive unit were absolutely feasting that day. They put together what Garrett himself called a historic day. 10 sacks. In a league where 3 sacks is considered excellent, they tripled that and added one more. They were living in the backfield, making quarterbacks uncomfortable, forcing mistakes. But even in the midst of that dominant performance, even while breaking franchise records, Garrett couldn't help but be impressed by what Sanders was doing. That's how special that throw was. Let's break down what actually happened. Garrett admits he wasn't tracking the receiver downfield initially. He was doing what elite pass rushers do, collapsing the pocket, forcing bad decisions. When the ball went up, his first instinct was concern. Who was that even going to? Is this about to be a disaster? Then something magical happened. The ball dropped into a bucket. Perfect placement. Window tighter than a drum. The receiver secured it, and Garrett's only thought was, please don't fumble into the end zone.
Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man caught at the 10-yard line. Bonds. He's down.
The throw tells you everything about Sanders' processing speed and arm talent. Under pressure from one of the most fearsome defensive lines in football, he identified a receiver that even the pass rusher bearing down on him didn't see, trusted his arm, and delivered a dart that only his guy could catch. That's not luck. That's elite quarterback play, period. Garrett knows this better than most. He's faced Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. When he says there's not many guys in the league that can make that throw, he's putting Sanders in rarefied air. He's saying this kid has something most quarterbacks simply don't possess. This moment represents something bigger than one play. It's about a new generation of quarterbacks stepping into the spotlight with zero fear. Sanders isn't intimidated. He's not shrinking under pressure. He's making throws that make defensive coordinators want to tear up their game plans. The narrative around Shedeur has always been complicated.
Multiple people who did not like Shedeur Sanders' attitude.
Being unprofessional, being unprepared.
The worst formal interview I've ever seen in my life. Horrible body language, blames teammates. Biggest thing is, he's just not that good. He kind of makes you feel small.
He's Coach Prime's son. He's got the pedigree and name recognition. But with that comes scrutiny and doubt. 1,000 people waiting for him to fail just to say, see, he was only hyped because of his dad. Every completion has skeptics saying, lucky throw. Every big game gets diminished. But then you have moments like this. You have Myles Garrett, a player with nothing to gain from hyping an opposing quarterback, going out of his way to recognize excellence. A guy who just dominated a game. Thinking about his own historic performance still takes time to acknowledge what he witnessed was special. This is peer recognition from someone who understands the game at the highest level. It cuts through all the noise, all the hot takes, all the legacy debates, and gets straight to what actually happened. A young quarterback made a throw that even the guy trying to kill him had to tip his cap to. Las Vegas wasn't a cupcake game. This was a legitimate NFL defense imposing their will. That 10-sack performance tells you the offensive line had a rough day. But in the midst of that chaos, with constant pressure and defensive linemen living in the backfield, Sanders found ways to make elite throws. That's the mark of a franchise quarterback. It's not about playing well when everything is perfect. It's about making magic when everything is falling apart around you. It's about seeing windows that don't exist and throwing receivers open when the pocket is collapsing.
That was undrafted in the second or third round, and they would just use him in a trade. The fact that Shedeur was not selected until round 5 of 7.
In that environment, most quarterbacks crumble. They start seeing ghosts, force throws into coverage, or lose their composure completely. But not Shedeur Sanders. He stayed calm, he processed, he delivered. What's fascinating is how Garrett frames his hope for Sanders' development. He's not just saying, nice throw, kid. He's saying, I hope he can continue to grow and develop from making plays like that. There's an investment there, an acknowledgement that this isn't a one-time thing, but potentially the beginning of something special. The flashes, the moments, the throws that make defensive players take notice, those are building blocks. You can't teach the vision to see that receiver downfield. You can't teach the arm strength to fit that ball into that window. You can't teach the composure to make that throw under that pressure. Either you have it or you don't. And Shedeur Sanders has it.
Every NFL team had a chance to draft him at least 4 times, but each time the individual team said, pass, we don't want him. That's actually quite, what's the word?
Legendary.
To piss off that many coaches, general managers.
That's the mindset of a predator who knows he's got his opponent right where he wants them. Yet in the middle of that bloodbath, he still found himself having an oh my God moment watching Sanders make that throw. For Sanders, this Las Vegas performance represents another step in proving he belongs at this level. Not because of his last name or the hype, but because when the lights are brightest and defensive monsters like Myles Garrett are trying to take your head off, he can still make throws that leave even those monsters impressed. The NFL doesn't care about your pedigree. It doesn't care about college stats or family names. All it cares about is whether you can perform when everything is on the line. And based on Garrett's reaction, Sanders is passing that test.
It feels good. It feels real good. It felt better to see all my guys. I feel like each of them got a sack. I feel like
even in his moment of personal triumph, he was focused on his teammates. That makes his comments about Sanders even more significant. He didn't have to mention that throw. He could have kept the focus entirely on his defensive historic performance, but he chose to acknowledge excellence when he saw it, even from an opponent. That's the ultimate sign of respect. This is one game, one throw, one moment. But these are the moments careers are built on. These are the plays that get remembered years from now when people talk about when they first knew a quarterback was different. And if Myles Garrett is already putting Shedeur Sanders in the conversation with the league's elite throwers, the rest of the NFL better take notice. Because when a defensive player of that caliber tells you a quarterback can do things that most guys in the league can't do, you listen. What you just witnessed isn't a fluke. It's a preview of what's coming. And Myles Garrett, in the middle of his own historic day, made sure everyone knew it.
Yes, sir.
Cleveland, something is happening. The tension is real, the locker room is buzzing, and the fans are louder than ever. Because after Shedeur Sanders stepped onto that field and delivered his first NFL win, the entire Browns organization was hit with a message they cannot ignore. And yes, Kevin Stefanski has officially been warned. Today we're breaking down the pressure, the controversy, and the new energy that has completely shaken the Cleveland Browns. Even though Dillon Gabriel was cleared from concussion protocol this week, Kevin Stefanski had no choice but to roll with Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback for next Sunday's game against the San Francisco 49ers. Sanders earned that spot the moment he led the Week 11 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders, where he threw a touchdown pass and sparked an offense that had been flat for weeks. That game wasn't just a win, it marked Shedeur Sanders' first NFL victory in his debut as a starting quarterback. And right after the final whistle, Stefanski got a strong message. Fans, analysts, even former players were all saying the same thing. Do not go back to Dillon Gabriel. In all 6 of Gabriel's starts, the offense never looked remotely close to what Sanders brought in just one outing. And the craziest part? Opportunities for Shedeur Sanders had been almost non-existent. Since preseason, he'd been buried as the 4th option on the depth chart. He never trained with the first team. He never got a real shot. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, he's announced as the starter before the Raiders game, and he delivered. Browns legend Joe Thomas said it best, the team just looked better with Shedeur Sanders. The offense wasn't perfect, but it had real life again. Sanders made throws that Dillon Gabriel simply hadn't shown in 6 games. There was that deep 50-plus yard strike to Isaiah Bond that even shocked Myles Garrett. A 39-yard connection to Jerry Jeudy that almost turned into a huge gain before the fumble. And the pass to Dylan Sampson, who turned it into a 66-yard sprint to the end zone. Joe Thomas broke it down during the Big Play Cleveland show. He saw huge progress in the exact areas Sanders needed to improve. He explained that when defenses fear the deep ball, everything underneath opens up, which is exactly what Sanders brought. But it isn't just analysts hyping him up. The locker room is behind him too. Myles Garrett, who had 3 sacks against the Raiders and now has 17 through 11 games, has been one of his biggest supporters. That kind of leadership backing a rookie quarterback means something. It says the team feels this new energy and they don't want it to disappear. But now comes the real test. Winning your first NFL game is huge, but facing the San Francisco 49ers is a completely different challenge. They're fighting for the top spot in the NFC West and in the entire conference. Sanders will be at home. Yes, he played earlier this season in the second half against the Baltimore Ravens, but this will be his first home start as the official QB, one of the Cleveland Browns. The pressure is high. The expectations are rising. And the message to Kevin Stefanski is louder than ever. Do not mess this up. So here we are, Cleveland on edge. Sanders stepping into the biggest moment of his young career, and Stefanski walking a tightrope that could define the future of the franchise. What happens next could change everything. Before we begin, let me ask you something. What does it take for a young quarterback to block out the noise, silence the critics, and walk into one of the biggest games of his life with nothing but focus in his eyes? Today, we're stepping inside the mindset of Cleveland Browns rookie sensation Shedeur Sanders, a young quarterback who refuses to get distracted by drama, fan reaction, or headline storms swirling around his relationship with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Because according to Shedeur, none of that matters right now. There's only one thing on his mind, the San Francisco 49ers. This week, Shedeur Sanders made it absolutely clear that he isn't spending a single second thinking about who's cheering for him, who's doubting him, or what people think about his chemistry with Coach Stefanski. While fans and analysts are gearing up for loud applause when he takes the field on Sunday, Sanders isn't feeding into any of it. He's locked in, eyes forward, and mentally preparing for a powerhouse defense coming straight at him. On Wednesday, Sanders said something that perfectly defines his mindset. I'm in grind mode, mentally understanding how to attack this defense that we're going against. That's where I am right now. No excuses. No distractions. No drama. Just preparation and tunnel vision. But let's be honest, the outside noise has been getting louder every single day. Ever since Shedeur became the first Browns rookie quarterback since Eric Zierbach in 1995 to win his very first NFL start, fans and supporters have been hyper-focused on how he and Stefanski get along. And after his breakout performance, Cleveland's 2 longest pass plays of the season, completing 11 of 20 for 209 yards. With 1 touchdown and 1 interception, people started claiming the coach had been holding him back, not giving him first-team reps, not believing in him early enough, and maybe even sabotaging his season. Those accusations blew up quickly. But Stefanski had the same stance he's had since training camp. Shedeur's development has been handled exactly the way it needed to be. And Sanders echoed that message loud and clear. He said, "What people do outside the building isn't in my control. It's not like I can go out there and tell them to do whatever. Coach Stefanski has been coaching since I got here, and we've been doing a great job with everything. He tells me what I need to do on and off the field. Our relationship has definitely grown." Still, Shedeur unintentionally added fuel to the fire after the Raiders game when he jokingly said, "Wait until I get a full off-season." Fans ran with that quote, turning it into another sign of tension. But Sanders shut that down immediately this week. "That was just jokes, man. A lot of people took that out of context," he said. "You have to understand the past 6 or 7 months have been hard. I'm thankful I get to work with these guys with this defense and that I've come this far. I was truly amazed." And if that wasn't enough, people also criticized Stefanski for not giving Sanders a game ball after the 24-10 win over the Raiders. Stefanski explained that he acknowledged every player's contributions in meetings the next day, including the fact that a rookie won his first road start, something he said the entire team recognized and appreciated. Even with the growth, Shedeur knows he isn't a finished product. He's connecting better with his receivers, building trust with his offensive line, and understanding NFL speed more each week. But he admits he isn't fully comfortable yet. He wants improvement every single week. And here's the real milestone he's chasing. If he beats the 49ers, he'll become the first Browns rookie quarterback in the entire Super Bowl era to win his first 2 starts. One of the biggest improvements from his debut. Fewer sacks. Sanders went down only once, showing better movement, climbing the pocket, and escaping pressure. And this week, he faces a 49ers team sitting dead last in the league with just 13 sacks after losing Nick Bosa and Fred Warner for the year. But the challenge isn't small. San Francisco has picked off 4 passes in the last 2 weeks, and Sanders already has 2 interceptions in his first 2 NFL games. Joel Bitonio praised Sanders' growth, saying he's learning how to climb the pocket and escape at the right time. Those aren't rookie traits. Those are signs of a quarterback already adapting and improving. So while fans stir the pot and critics look for drama, Shedeur Sanders is staying exactly where he needs to be, in the film room, on the practice field, and mentally preparing for a heavyweight matchup that could change the narrative around the Browns season. And now, as Sunday approaches, the only question left is this: can Shedeur Sanders block out the noise once again and lead the Browns to a historic win over the 49ers? What if I told you that the Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, might be walking into his biggest test yet, and still walk out surprising the entire NFL world? What if the same defense that once terrified every offense in football is now vulnerable? Just in time for a hungry young quarterback to make statement? Today, we dive deep into why Shedeur Sanders and the Browns offense could be gearing up for a shockingly productive day against the San Francisco 49ers. Shedeur Sanders stepped into the spotlight when he made his first career start in Week 12, guiding the Cleveland Browns to a convincing victory over the Las Vegas Raiders with a scoreline of 24-10. It was the kind of debut that gave fans hope and gave analysts something to break down. But almost instantly, critics jumped in with their usual chorus, pointing out that his performance came against a Raiders team sitting at just 2 wins and 9 losses. Now all eyes are locked on his second start, coming this Sunday when the Browns host the San Francisco 49ers, a team viewed as the complete opposite of the struggling Raiders. The 49ers enter this matchup with 8 wins and 4 losses, a record that reflects far more stability and strength. Their respected defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, is known for crafting disciplined and disruptive defensive schemes, and he'll be drawing up every possible challenge to throw at the rookie quarterback. On paper, this looks like a massive leap in difficulty for Sanders. But beneath the surface, the situation might not be as lopsided as people think. In fact, Sanders may be in position to build even more momentum than anyone expects. The 49ers are good, yes, but they are not the same dominant, suffocating defense fans have grown used to over the past few years. Their identity on that side of the ball has changed dramatically. Star defender Fred Warner and star pass rusher Nick Bosa being sidelined for the year has reshaped the entire unit. Add departures like Dre Greenlaw, Charvarius Ward, and Talanoa Hufanga in free agency, and suddenly you're looking at a young defense still learning how to survive without its cornerstone pieces. And when a defense is dealing with youth and inexperience, growing pains are inevitable. This year, the 49ers are giving up 342.7 yards per game, placing them at 22nd in the NFL. Even more revealing, they're surrendering 241.8 passing yards per game, ranking 26th. Their inability to pressure the quarterback has been an even bigger issue. Without Bosa, they have managed only 13 sacks all season, the lowest total in the entire league. For any quarterback, especially a rookie learning to trust his timing, that matters a lot. None of this guarantees an offensive explosion from Cleveland. The Browns are also a young roster, still dealing with their own learning curve. Mistakes happen. Inconsistencies show up. But the 49ers' defensive profile this season clearly points to opportunities. The Browns' offensive line should have the ability to protect Sanders, and if there's one thing the rookie has shown so far, it's that when his time in the pocket, he can deliver the ball with confidence and accuracy to his playmakers. Kevin Stefanski's approach to this game will also heavily influence how the offense performs. Stefanski has never been shy about leaning on a conservative game plan when the Browns' defense is dominating. If Cleveland's defense controls the 49ers' offense, we could see a quiet, discipline-focused outing from Sanders, the kind where protecting the football matters more than lighting up the stat sheet. And if that leads to a win, nobody in Cleveland will complain for even a second. But if the Browns find themselves needing to open things up, if they need big plays, aggressive throws, and momentum-shifting drives, then this matchup presents a real chance for Sanders to shine. The 49ers' pass defense has been inconsistent all season, and a young quarterback with confidence, protection, and nothing to lose can be the most dangerous kind of quarterback there is. So the question becomes, is this the day Shedeur Sanders silences the critics and proves he belongs under the brightest lights? Or will the 49ers remind the league why their name still carries weight? One thing is certain, Sunday's showdown could be far more surprising than anyone expects. If you're ready for more deep-dive NFL storytelling and analysis, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share your predictions in the comments. The season is heating up, and we're just getting started.
got Cleveland beating the Tennessee Titans this weekend. Shedeur Sanders putting up 2 touchdowns with 300 plus yards. I got the Green Bay. Well, no, I got Cleveland Browns winning 31-21. Cleveland. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share to my second YouTube channel. It's all free. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that live. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Perfect timing.